Hi there! The topic that I'd like to share with you today from my 5-step approach towards helping to balance out the hormones and towards natural conception is nourish. To nourish our body, we have to be in a state of mind that allows our body, first of all, to be in a relaxed state. We can try and feed the body as much healthy nutrients as possible and have all these tools and information to really help bring the balance back into the hormone system. But if we are not in the correct state of mind while eating, then there's a very good chance that the food that we are digesting is not small enough for the body to be able to do anything with it. I'm sure you've heard this before and there's a lot of attention on this. It's very, very crucial that you find a relaxed state of mind and be in a relaxed state of mind before you actually consume whatever food it is you're eating. We want to be giving the body time to recognize the signs that we're hungry, we're now about to eat, and the enzymes from the mouth all the way down to through the digestive tract are ready and waiting for this lovely food to arrive, that it can then do its job of extracting these nutrients out through the small intestines and into the bloodstream, where they're then carried to all of the different parts of the body and all the cells and tissues that are needed to do their job and to support enzymatic reactions that are happening in the body, biochemical actions that are happening in the body. So this is the first thing that we need to do. We need to recognise we're going to be eating, and we need to then bring the blood flow back into the digestive system to support this absorption of the nutrients. There's no point in us being in this fight or flight where all the bloods are in our arms and legs and we're running away from danger the whole day. We need to say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to now sit down, I'm going to take a few deep breaths, and I'm really going to sit and consider what I'm just about to do. As I said, all the lovely carbohydrates and fats are all broken down in the mouth, and all the enzymes are there waiting, saliva's ready and waiting to break this food down. And we need to be chewing our food to a small enough pulp that when it reaches our stomach, that it is in a consistency that the proteins can then start to be broken down and the amino acids can then start to be extracted from our food in our stomach to go and build bones and build other tissues that the body needs. So that's the first tip that I'm talking about today. Slow down that chewing and really savour every morsel and really enjoy that moment. The second thing I'm going to talk to you about is essential fats that we need to then bring into our diet. Mackerel, oily fish, sardines, salmon. Plant sources of that would be avocados, walnuts, flax seeds. Omega-3s, essential fatty acids that our body doesn't make on its own, so we need to provide that to our body every week. Almost every day do we want to have a nice healthy fat into our diets. Extra virgin olive oil, full fat butter, grass-fed butter, grass-fed meat. This essential oil, omega-3, is really essential for making our hormones to reduce inflammation in the body that we are maybe experiencing when we think about PCOS, when we think about type 2 diabetes, endometriosis. This is all inflammatory actions that are happening in the body, and we want to try and dampen that down as much as possible with the foods that we eat. So omega-3s, get them in there. Try and get them in at least 3 times a week. Another thing I want to talk about is vegetables. All those lovely, colourful array of different coloured vegetables. We want to be steaming our vegetables. We don't want to be flinging them into a pan of hot water and boiling them to death, losing all the nutrients. We want to be steaming them as much as possible. My preferred way to steam is I get myself a bamboo steamer from the Chinese supermarket. I put some water in my pan and I pop that steamer on top, and I'm steaming for maybe a few minutes, no more. When you lift the lid off the steamer and you see those vegetables at their brightest colour, that's when you want to be consuming them. That's when their antioxidants are at their highest. Switch that pan off, and you still want your vegetables to have a small bit of a crunch in there. So steaming the vegetables, keeping that colour as vibrant as possible. Do not boil them to death. Slow cookers. Slow cookers for me are a brilliant invention, and it's a matter of, get all that food into the pot, maybe the night before, so all you have to do the next morning is switch that steamer on, off to work you go, temperature's down at low, making sure there's enough fluid in the the slow cooker, that when you come back home from work, you have a meal prepared in one pot. All the nutrients are contained within that one stew or that soup or whatever it is that you're making, but it makes life a lot easier because you then don't have to come home from work and really start to think about, what am I making? And you're reaching for the first sugary thing or the first processed thing because it's quick and it's easy. Looking after your body and considering all of these nutrients and what you need to bring into the body to allow your body to function optimally and to help to reduce a lot of hormone related issues, inflammatory conditions, does take time. You do have to spend a bit of time in the kitchen, but your body's worth it and you're worth it. Your family's bodies and health is worth it. So really carving out some time for you is essential, and maybe on a Sunday get the family involved, everyone in there together. Really hands-on, trying different textures and flavours and seeing what's good for you, what you enjoy, but trying to just develop the palate as much as possible, rotation as much as possible, are the keys to a healthy body and a healthy mind. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about, fresh herbs. It doesn't have to be a fancy meal. It can be steamed vegetables, a bit of protein on the side, maybe a small bit of a complex carb, so we're talking about all your lovely whole wheat products, brown rice, brown pasta, brown bread, all that lovely fibrous vegetables to help really flush the toxins out of the body, every day. Keeping the bowels clean, feeding the microbiome, feeding the gut flora within the colon, keeping them healthy. Fresh herbs, very easy. All you need to do is chop up a bunch of fresh herbs that you like, mix it through with a lovely extra virgin olive oil, maybe some salt and pepper. Sit it on the side of the counter in the kitchen, maybe for a couple of days just to let it start to ferment. Then put that into the fridge and use that every day on top of your vegetables, your steamed vegetables, whatever meal you're having, whether it could be brown rice, maybe it's pasta, whatever, but to get the fresh herbs in there, bright, lovely green fresh herbs, full of something called polyphenols. Now, polyphenols are an amazing antioxidants for the body, so will therefore kill off any free radicals that are floating around there from toxins and from the outside world, from dead hormones that we've used to maybe products that we're putting on our skin. This will help to keep the body healthy and help it, stave it away from possible cancer, other health risk related illnesses. So there's a couple of tips for you, and I'm going to be popping in again each time with different small tips, 2-3 tips here and there, just to keep you going, just to start to learn, just to let to understand and to understand your body. Thank you for today. Bye.